Hey guys, how y'all doing? I'm here to give you guys a recap on the new chapters of Nanatsu no Taizai, or you call it the 7 Deadly Sins, on chapters 231 and 232. I'm going to tell you right now, I read this when I had some errands to do, or I had something else to do, and apparently, oh my gosh, I was like, blown away like no tomorrow. Like, I was like, holy freaking hell. I couldn't help myself but read the two chapters back and forth many times, because it was just extremely hyped up and good in my eyes. Oh man, dude, I am really excited to give this recap, and tell you my reactions. But if anything else, let's go. We have to it that it starts off with the color page with Escanor and Assault Mode Meliodas staring at each other with like, what are you looking at kind of thing. And Meliodas is like, you're a human? You better watch your mouth right now. I'm not in a good mood. And Escanor is like, well, I'm in an extreme good mood. You want to know why? Because this is to prove how much stronger I am than you. Pride against wrath. Now, let's begin. And freaking Escanor swings his axe against Meliodas, and an explosion happened in the freaking cube. And of course, Meliodas is like, a human defeat me? He said, yeah. And then we have to it that Meliodas starts his attack too, except he knees Escanor right in the face and clashes against him with his sword and twirls it like a freaking tornado or typhoon whatsoever, and blows Escanor away. But Escanor gets right back up and tries to hit him, but Meliodas just stabs his blade through Escanor himself, and right now everyone's like, oh my gosh, what the hell just happened right now? Even the 7 Deadly Sins and Goddess Elizabeth is like, what are you doing? And Escanor just grabs him in the head, and Meliodas is like, I'll teach you what happens when you lay your freaking filthy hands on me. And blasted him with freaking, the enchantment Hellblaze, I believe. And Escanor fell himself to the ground. Even Diane and Escanor is like, what the hell's going on here? Bond is just like shaking and sweating in fear right now. And Elizabeth's like, Elizabeth tells Merlin to take out the perfect cube spell and she'll figure out to do something. But Merlin says, I cannot do that because the dark magic is like consuming his soul and memories right now. Like, he is completely taken over by his dark magic, and if I let it down even for a single moment, he'll kill all of us in one blow. And Hawk's like, is there any other way to stop him then? And Merlin's like, it's gonna be high noon soon. And we have to it that Meliodas, unfazed, tells Escanor, if you act thoughtlessly tough without having any consequences, you're gonna die. And we have to it that Escanor's wounds just heal up so fast right now, and Escanor tells him, you know what? I'll acknowledge something. You are indeed strong. That is if you're not counting me in. And therefore, he ends up blowing up bigger than before when he fought Estarossa, and he ends up saying, shall we continue? Even Diane's like saying, oh man, this is really scary right now. Escanor in that condition is really dangerous. And even King says, this could seriously kill the captain though. Even Hawk is saying, yo, this guy, if this magical eye is broken, his power level is 114,000. And that's Escanor's power level right now for the time being. And it's not even close to high noon yet. So I'm pretty sure he was a little bit higher I'm pretty sure he was like almost at that level when he fought Estarossa. Let's not forget. Aside from that, Meliodas is just like unfazed. Just unfazed, He's like, well, not meaning unfazed. What I mean is like he has his eyes open like this, like in total awe. Even Escanor's like, what's the matter? Are you so shocked at my transformation you can't speak? And Escanor does a super slash on him, but apparently that did not faze Meliodas at all, and he punches Escanor right in the chest, like one punch, boom, and he ends up spurting out blood. Even Merlin and the 7 Deadly Sins are like saying, what the hell just happened right now? They're like Goat King are like in awe Like, the mouse are dropped. Merlin and Bond's like, oh, frick, you gotta be kidding me. Escanor's knees hit the ground, which I go like, oh my gosh, this can't be happening. And Meliodas puts his foot on Escanor's face and says, the only thing that changed was your tone, huh? And Escanor is like in kneels right now, and Meliodas' foot over Escanor's face. I'm like, you have any idea what you're doing right now? But Meliodas seems unfazed, dude. Like, this is chapter 231. We're gonna get into chapter 232 now, okay? Etc. We see to it that Meliodas stands tall on Escanor with his foot on his face right now. And Diane's like, my gosh, he's like toying with Escanor. Escanor, dude. Even when he's getting powerful minute by the minute, I can't believe it. But Merlin reminds Diane, like, this is what the captain was when he was... This was what the captain was. Like, he was known to be a true legend of Demon Clan. And this is how he became the leader of the Ten Commandments. Like, this is actually him back then. Like, how strong he was and how vile and ruthless he is. Escanor, enraged, slashes against Meliodas with his axe, and it seems like Meliodas just grabs the axe with just one hand, like no problem, but gets pushed down because of the weapon's weight and Escanor's strength combined, possibly. And we have to it that Escanor summons Cruel Sun to hit Meliodas, but Meliodas just full counters it like no problem, dude, and it blows up. And there's a voice in this chapter that says, ha, ha, that's it, just a little more. And Merlin's like, what was that voice just now? So, I was kind of concerned about that too. Let's keep an eye on that voice right there, because it really scares the living heck out of me, and I will talk about it towards the end of this chapter. But aside from that, let's continue. We have to it that Escanor is still fighting. He gets caught off guard by Meliodas' sword throw, and Meliodas just literally just like breaks Escanor's right hand and tries to slash him, but the sword ends up being on top of Escanor, and he just flings it away, just takes it off and flings it away. Like, when Meliodas tried to slash him with the sword, it got stuck to Escanor. Like, you know, a knife is like stabbed to you and it's stuck there. That's what happened to Escanor. He just picked it up and just flicked it away, and he just punched Meliodas around the face with his left hand because his right hand is obviously broken. And Meliodas just like answers in a complete different way and punches him with his right hand, like jumps punch him, and freaking we see the next page in the panel like Escanor like bouncing around in a perfect cube and slammed down to the ground. And Meliodas ends up spitting out blood and tells Escanor, hey, you actually entertain me very much more than I expected. This is actually the most fun I ever had ever since fighting my dear younger brother and my brethren. So, it looks like to me Escanor actually entertained Meliodas. Well, this is his assault mode and his true ruthless and vile personality. So, I'm guessing Zeldris is not something to be dealt with, because he said he had more fun fighting his dear younger brother and his brethren. So, I don't know if he's either referring to Zeldris or Estarossa, but like I said, those two are not someone to be taken lightly. We all know that. But Escanor did defeat Estarossa. Let's keep that in mind. Aside from me rambling on about in the past, we have to it that Meliodas continues up. You are indeed an impressive human, and killing you off would just be a waste. Even Escanor himself, dude, man. Just seeing him like that really, really makes me go like, I can't look, because the prideful Escanor, dude. This shouldn't be happening. But, Diane was actually concerned by saying, you know, how are we supposed to stop the captain like this, huh? And Merlin's like, he stalled him long enough. Now it comes down to just this 1 minute. And Diane's like, what are you talking about this 1 minute? Merlin recites of what Diane says like she says, but in a different length, but in a different structure. She tells Diane like his strength rises hour by hour along with the sun, and at high noon it reaches its peak. And during that time, just 1 minute, just 1 minute, he becomes this invincible incarnation of power. And its name is the One. And it shows Escanor, giant, buffed up motherfucker, and freaking fireballs in his eyes, dude. And Meliodas is in assault mode, like, oh, so you were still hiding something. Then Meliodas ends up going into like dark aura mode and ends up slashing at Escanor 1,000 times, like in a quick moment. But apparently that did not faze Escanor at all, and he goes like, that's nothing but a small itch. You know that? And Meliodas is like, and he ends up trying to charge at Escanor again, and Escanor says, Divine Sword Escanor. And he just like did this and then swishes down and slashes Meliodas like so fast that he doesn't even see that. Even the 7 deadly sins are like, oh man, this must be tough. And Meliodas, in total rage and anger, says, you freaking punk. Well, he said you other word, obviously. Well, I try not to cuss as much, but aside from that, Escanor says, as God of the demons, and Meliodas just falls down while Elizabeth runs over there. He asks Meliodas, how does it feel, to be looked down by a human? And Meliodas just falls down over, obviously. Next chapter is called Damage, which I don't know what that really means, but we'll have to find out. When I first time read this chapter, these 2 chapters, chapter 231, I'm like, oh my gosh. Chapter 232, oh my gosh. Damn. Like, literal damn. Oh. You know, we all knew, we all expected Escanor to be at peak level to face Meliodas, obviously. But to be invincible and just slashes Meliodas just like with this hand just moving like this. And 1-hit KO, dude. I'm like, dude, I am like totally blown away. Like, I think that break when it came to like before chapter 230 was actually worth it. You know, I think it did a nice job, and I think it entertained the entire audience, especially us English language speakers and readers. You know, must be pretty like shocked as hell, and must be dropping our jaws the first time we saw it. There's no denying that. I dropped my jaw and went like, when that happened, I was like blown away. I was like, what the hell just happened, and so forth. Aside from the fight in Escanor and Meliodas, I want to talk about this page right here where it says like when Escanor launched his cruel son against Meliodas in chapter 232, there was this voice says, ha ha, that's it, just a little more. And Merlin's like, what was that voice just now? This is the one that got me concerned, because it seems like to me there might be some trouble ahead, possibly in the next chapter, because that ha ha, just a little more, is what I'm really concerned about. We don't really know who that person is, but in terms of like a black bubble text speech along with like a more black bubble text speech, it must be an enemy. Let's not deny that. And whatever the case, who that person is, it could be a demon or possibly someone of Merlin's personal enemy. And we know who could be Merlin's personal enemy, but we don't really know exactly. But if you guys know the Arthurian legends, then you would know what I'm talking about. But those who don't, I'm pretty sure you might find out later. But aside from me, like giving hypothesis and theory about like that ha ha, that's it, just a little more, Escanor and Meliodas' fight was pretty slick. I mean, like, to think Meliodas is the only one to bring the sinful pride of lion before his peak level down on his knees and gave him trouble before he goes in, and before Escanor becomes the one. and defeats Meliodas in just one slash. Dude. No wonder Meliodas is literally the leader of the 10 Commandments. Who else wouldn't be, dude? Not to mention Meliodas saying like he never had this much fun ever since fighting his younger brother and his brethren. I've always wondered who that younger brother is. Is it the Estarossa or Zeldris? But I'm pretty sure Zeldris might be the one, but we'll have to find out later. I mean, if Meliodas has this kind of form of assault mode and give trouble for the sin of pride, I've always wanted to ask myself, and maybe ask you all, do you think Zeldris and Estarossa have that kind of form? I mean, ooh, damn. Aside from that, no wonder they say that Meliodas is known to be the most feared bad boss ever. But Escanor took that over and became the #1 savage boss ever. So until then, I'll see you guys in my next video. So I'm out for Zero, people. Have a good day. And I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye. Toot-toot-toot.